All right, good morning. Happy Friday. We're going to take a minute here and we'll get started. Hope everybody's having a good week. As you can see, I'm back in my home office. See if anybody joins us. I got a few of you on. Say something if you guys are on. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a busy couple weeks and got a couple more weeks left. We're real busy, but we're going to go ahead and get started, do this weekly wrap up thing. First off, I want to give a shout out. It's Red Friday. Somebody made a comment, reached out to me last week and said, "Hey, you didn't wear red this week." And I was like, "You know what? You're right. I got to. I got to start wearing red." Lisa, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So I said, "You know what? I got to get back in wearing the red." So I'm this week I'm doing Red Friday. Remember, everybody deployed. This shirt here, I'm gonna do a shout out to my buddy Dave Bray. Dave Bray USA. You can get your shirt from Dave Bray USA. He's got some good stuff there. Good morning. Good morning. All right. We are going to get started. Here's what happened this week. With the travel and everything that I've been doing, it's been a lot of fun. But here's what happened this week on HMG with the shows. So, first up, five paragraph business plan. Go to fiveparagraph.com to get your copy of the five paragraph business plan. This week, host Mike Penny speaks with Mark Casper, executive director for Tech for Troops. Tech for Troops helps veterans who are strapped financially and need to tech level up. Tech for Troops. Mark is the executive director over there and explains how they've grown really fast, catering to veterans, but only those that are in dire straits. It's a really cool organization. I encourage everybody to check them out. It's Tech for Troops. Let's slow down so I don't stutter. All right, next up, one of HMG's originals, the Arms Rooms. The Arms Room this week, they talk about good medical response, and it's more than just carrying a tourniquet. Um, Maybe some of you that are watching this or that are listening have come up on an accident or a scene or whatnot, and you didn't have the right medical equipment, or you're trying to assist in some form or fashion. The Arms Room Show is more than just a firearm show. They talk a lot about uh, medical responses and being prepared, what to carry in your car, what to have in your house, and whatnot. And they do a fantastic job. So check them out. That is the Arms Room. Next up, Broken and Blessed. Had a great time with this one. James Boggs and myself, we were at Jimmy Boggs' house when we recorded this. This was our first kind of face-to-face show that we did. It was kind of fun, kind of funny. We were down in his basement. We did this, but this week's topic was be an agent of change. What does that mean? What does it mean to be an agent of change? So take a listen to this week's Broken and Blessed as we talk about kind of what's going on in the world right now and how you can be an agent of change. And as always, at the end of at the end of our Broken and Blessed shows, we always end the show out with a Bible verse. And this week was a really good one. So if you guys don't mind, I'd like to share it with you. This week's Bible verse was Isaiah 43:1, and it goes, "But now, this is what the Lord says: He who created you, Jacob, he who formed you, Israel, do not fear, for I have redeemed you." Isaiah 43:1. Powerful stuff. Be an agent of change. Be positive. I'll give you the hint. It's about positivity. How you can be an agent of change. Good morning, everybody. Shad, what's up, brother? Be talking about you here in just a moment. Um, So check that out. Let's see here. Where did I leave off? That was Broken and Blessed. All right, next up, Not Your Average Operator. What do they talk about this week? What you should tell. What would you tell yourself, your younger self? What would you tell your younger self if you could go back in time and tell your younger self something that's made a huge impact on your life now? What would you tell yourself? You ever had those types of reflections where you just kind of sit there and you're like, man, if I would totally do this differently, or I would set this up something else, or I would do this differently. So listen into this week's Not Your Average Operator. This will put a smile on your face and really get you thinking. The team, Raph, Melon, and Mike, they talk about really their own reflections and whatnot, and some of the topics that they covered in this episode: following your passion, establish good habits, travel often, try new things like yoga, follow your heart, not your head, and be the example. Just to name a few. There's several other ones. I'm not going to get into it. Check it out. It's Not Your Average Operator. That's episode 4. That's one of our newer shows. A really popular show right now. So check that out. Next up, we have Heroes Hope from the Heroes Hope Network. Absolutely love them and what they're doing. This week they speak with Army veteran Joshua Davidson. Host Michael Hodgkins talks with former Army Sergeant Joshua Davidson and discusses Josh's involvement with the Heroes Hope Network mentoring program. Heroes Hope Network is as I've said in the past, great nonprofit down in Florida. Make sure you check that out. That's Heroes Hope Network. They got a lot of things that they're doing for the Florida vets. So if you're down in Florida, make sure you check them out. This week, they also talk about some of the challenges of PTSD and how Josh was able to overcome some of his demons that nearly took him over the edge. Very kind of pulling the heartstrings a little bit type interview with this one, and it kind of opens your eyes, but they're doing amazing work. That's Heroes Hope, so check that out. All right, you guys forgive me. I know it's probably rude to be drinking coffee and trying to do this, but whatever. All right, next up, we got brainstorming to book sales. This week is author Brooke Smiley. Let's see here. Host Shannon Whittington speaks with author Brooke Smiley about her book, Tales of the Barista, Reign of the Witches. While writing as a fictional fantasy book full of fairies and unicorns and witches and trolls, Brooks talks about the truth that is woven throughout her book. This is a really interesting interview, and I have not read the book yet, but it's one of those that kind of sparked my interest. So check that out. That is brainstorming to book sales. Next up, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Nancy, Shy, Travis. How you doing? All right. Next up, we have That Entrepreneur Life podcast with my man Clint McPherson. Before I get into the show this week, I want you guys to follow them on Facebook, The Entrepreneur Life. That Entrepreneur Life. That Entrepreneur Life podcast. They put up something, I believe it was yesterday, on 7 management and business skills. There it is. 7 management and business skills everyone should learn to be more productive. Really good stuff. So make sure you follow this because they always put out those little some great information to follow. So this week's show on That Entrepreneur Life, they have Shayna Rose, who is a artist, songwriter, actress, and a creative entrepreneur. She's best known for her parts on Nickelodeon's Fresh Beat Band and Days of Our Lives. It's a good interview. You would check this one out. Definitely does not disappoint. So that is That Entrepreneur Life podcast. Check it out. Next up, we have Time to Shine Today podcast with our man Scott Ferguson, aka Fergie. He had just a smoking week. Scott does a show 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Pumps out a ton of content. Absolutely loves it. Uh, this week he had some guys, people on like military to millionaire with our buddy David was on. They talked credible leaders with Michael Tanner and Transform Your Life with Lene Taylor. All good shows this week, so check that out. That is Time to Shine Today podcast. Next up, Veterans Unite. Every Sunday, do not forget, every Sunday, Veterans Unite in partnership with the People's Patriot Project. They do a Got Your Six at 6 every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Shad was on here earlier, so make sure you get it. If you haven't been on it, and I know what's going to happen here is they're going to call me out on it because I have not been on it yet. I apologize. I'm going to get on it here in the next couple weeks, Shad. So you got to get on it. It's a great time. It's kind of like a happy hour, virtual happy hour kind of thing. But Got Your Six at 6. That's Veterans Unite and in partnership with the People's Patriot Project. Let me just see here. Who else? Anthony. Yes, I finally did cut my hair. Thank you for noticing. I appreciate it. Hey, folks, real quick, since Anthony jumped on here, if you guys have any tax issues or you have a business that needs some like bookkeeping and stuff like that, my tax fella, you go to the HMG website, you'll see the logo on. He's one of our sponsors. His stuff is hands down the best in the business. I absolutely love this guy. I've been fortunate enough to know him for several years. He handles all of our business stuff and personal stuff for HMG and my stuff. So make sure you check them out. All right, we're going to wrap this up here because we had a couple more to go. The Gary Brogman podcast, check it out. Gary's pumping out shows 2-3 times a week. He does a great show. We also, let's see here. Shay said something earlier. Shay, okay. Got it. Okay, so Shay Sparks, her podcast will be out a little bit later today, and we will have some other stuff coming out today. The Power of Investing in People podcast will be out later today. Also later today, we will have the Decision Hour where Patty, I had Patty back on the show, and if you listen to the Decision Hour the last 2 years, when Patty and I are together, it's just a bunch of shenanigans. So you never know. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to tune in and listen. But it won't disappoint. I can tell you that right now. And then last up, later on, either today or tomorrow, we're going to Heroes Published podcast. I got my good friend Carl Monger, who wrote a book called Common Sense Transitioning. It's a call to action and a blueprint for change. I'm going to show you this just because I happen to have Carl's book right here. So check that out. We recently did the audio book for him, so if you go on to Amazon, you'd like to purchase the book, you can. Or you can also get the audio version of this. It's a great book. I've managed to listen to it about 4 or 5 times. My son's listening to it now. So check that out. I got an alibi real quick. Almost forgot. I want to welcome back A Warrior's Garden. Doc is back with us. He's got a show that came out earlier this week, and I didn't put that on the notes. Doc, I apologize, but make sure you check that podcast out, A Warrior's Garden. Listen, you can check out all the shows and everything that we're doing on Heroes Media Group. Simply go to www.heroesmediagroup.com, click on the show tab, and you can see all of the shows that are on there. We got some new shows coming out here in the next 60 days. Quite a few, God willing. So everything's looking good right now. I want to thank everybody for coming on the live and saying something this morning. Much appreciated. Before I wrap up, we have a new sponsor for Heroes Media Group, so I want to give a special shout out to Pinnacle Diving Company. Pinnacle Diving Company, if you're ever thinking about learning how to dive and whatnot, this is the place to go. AJ's been doing this for years. He's an Army veteran. He was an Army and Navy veteran. Um, Check it out, pinnaclediving.com. So I'm well over my time right now. So I appreciate all of you for joining. Make sure you go check out the shows. If you are watching or listening or know somebody that wants to do a podcast, wants to write a book or do an audio book, have them reach out to us. They can email us at info@heroesmediagroup.com or just send us a message, leave a message, comment below, or have them reach out to Heroes Media Group, either email or here on Facebook. So I hope everybody has a blessed weekend. Be safe out there, and we will see you guys next week. Take care.